He started as a young boy, scavenging through his neighbor's trash, rescuing abandoned bicycles that others had thrown away. Today, he's a nationally recognized treasure hunter, having uncovered some of America's most valuable lost artifacts. However, what many fans don't know is the true story behind Mike Wolfe's rise to fame, and the shocking personal and professional struggles that almost derailed his career. From modest beginnings to building a multimillion-dollar empire, to the bitter rift that split one of television's most beloved duos, and now, the surprising announcement that has left fans questioning everything. This is the untold story of America's most famous picker and the unexpected reason he's stepping away from it all. Mike Wolfe wasn't born with a silver spoon, more like a rusty bicycle chain. Growing up in Joliet, Illinois as one of 3 children raised by a single mother, Mike discovered his passion for picking at just 4 years old. While other kids were playing with new toys, young Mike was digging through neighborhood trash, rescuing and repairing old bicycles. This wasn't just childhood curiosity. It was the first spark of a passion that would eventually captivate millions. Before becoming the face of American antiquing, Mike immersed himself in competitive bicycle racing, and even opened 2 bike shops. But the open road called to him in a different way, not for speed, but for discovery. He began crisscrossing the country in search of forgotten treasures, developing an uncanny ability to spot value where others saw junk. What began as a passion project would transform into an empire, but not without countless miles, rejections, and persistence that would have broken lesser men. In 2010, Mike's vision became reality when American Pickers premiered on the History Channel. The show wasn't just another reality TV experiment, it was a cultural phenomenon. The premiere episode attracted 3.1 million viewers, making it the History Channel's biggest debut since 2007. Audiences were instantly captivated by Mike's infectious enthusiasm and encyclopedic knowledge, as he and co-host Frank Fritz ventured into America's backroads, barns, and basements. These weren't just rusty artifacts they were uncovering, they were pieces of American history and culture, each with a story to tell. Over 15 years and more than 400 episodes later, the show has maintained its place in American households, introducing millions to the thrill of the find and the value of preservation. Behind the scenes, however, the road wasn't always smooth. As American Pickers grew into a cultural institution, Mike expanded his empire beyond television. His antique archaeology stores in LeClaire, Iowa and Nashville, Tennessee became pilgrimage sites for fans and collectors alike. More than just retail outlets, these locations represented Mike's philosophy of preserving American history through its objects. Recognizing the importance of nurturing future generations of history enthusiasts, Mike founded Kid Pickers, an online community designed to inspire children aged 7 to 13. Through this platform, young pickers could share their discoveries and learn about history through tangible objects. Beyond business ventures, Mike demonstrated his commitment to giving back through various charitable initiatives, including events benefiting St. Jude's Children's Hospital and the ASPCA. These endeavors showed a man determined to leave a positive impact beyond entertainment, using his platform to educate, inspire and support causes close to his heart. For years, the chemistry between Mike Wolfe and Frank Fritz was the beating heart of American Pickers. Their contrasting personalities created perfect television. Mike, the visionary businessman with an eye for architectural salvage and Americana. Frank, the mechanic with a passion for toys, oil cans and nostalgic collectibles. Together, they traversed America's back roads, creating moments of discovery that felt authentic and unscripted. Their friendship seemed unbreakable, until it wasn't. The first sign of trouble came when Frank disappeared from the show, initially explained as a recovery period following back surgery. As weeks turned to months and months to years, fans began to question the official story. In 2021, the truth emerged when Frank publicly stated he'd been pushed out of the show, implying Mike had played a role in his exit. The revelation sent shockwaves through the picking community. Mike remained largely silent about the accusations, offering only vague comments about privacy and respect. The once inseparable duo was now divided, leaving fans to wonder what truly transpired behind the scenes of their favorite show. Was it business disagreements, personal conflict, or something the public may never fully understand? As American Pickers continued with new co-hosts, viewers noticed the shift in dynamics. While the show maintained its focus on American treasures and the thrill of the hunt, something intangible had changed. The authentic rapport that Mike and Frank shared, a friendship built over decades of picking together long before cameras rolled, was impossible to replicate. Though viewership remained strong, a vocal contingent of fans expressed their disappointment, some even pledging to boycott the show until Frank returned. Against this backdrop of professional turbulence, Mike's personal life was experiencing its own seismic shifts. After 8 years of marriage, Mike and his wife Jody separated in 2020, with their divorce finalized the following year. The settlement reportedly cost Mike over $6 million, a substantial financial and emotional burden. For a man whose life had been so public for so long, these personal and professional upheavals represented an unprecedented crossroads. Yet amidst the challenges, Mike found new beginnings. In 2021, he began a relationship with Letitia Klein, a businesswoman who runs a successful cafe in Cave City, Kentucky. Despite living 2 hours apart, they've nurtured a connection based on mutual respect for each other's independence. Unlike the pressures of his previous marriage, which played out partially in the public eye, Mike and Letitia have embraced a more relaxed approach to their relationship. They've been open about enjoying their separate lives, while still making time for each other, with no rush toward marriage or engagement. For Mike, this relationship represents a fresh chapter, one defined by personal happiness, rather than public expectations. After decades of constant work and travel, this newfound personal stability may have influenced his professional decisions in ways fans hadn't anticipated. After 15 years as the face of American Pickers, Mike's announcement that he would be taking a break sent ripples through his fan base. While some speculated about the real reasons behind his departure, from the fallout with Frank to personal exhaustion, Mike framed it as an opportunity for new adventures. Chief among these is his upcoming show, History's Greatest Picks, which will take his treasure hunting global. This new venture promises to expand the picking concept beyond American borders, allowing Mike to explore international histories and cultures through their artifacts. For a man who built his career on curiosity and the thrill of discovery, this worldwide platform represents an exciting evolution of his brand. The question remains, is this truly just a break from American Pickers, or the beginning of a permanent transition? While Mike hasn't explicitly answered this question, his enthusiasm for new projects suggests a man ready to expand beyond the constraints of the show that made him famous. As Mike embarks on this new chapter, the future of American Pickers hangs in a delicate balance. For 15 years, the show has been synonymous with Mike's personality and passion. While other cast members, including Mike's brother Rob and longtime office manager Danielle Colby, have stepped into more prominent roles, Mike's absence leaves a void that won't easily be filled. The show has already weathered significant changes, from Frank's departure to shifting formats and new faces. Yet through it all, Mike remained the constant, the passionate picker, whose enthusiasm turned dusty barns into treasure troves of history. Without him at the helm, can American Pickers maintain its identity? The loyal viewership built over 15 years suggests there's still an audience for the picking adventures, but television history is littered with shows that couldn't survive the departure of their central personality. The timing of Mike's break, coinciding with his new international picking show, raises questions about whether he's simply expanding his brand, or deliberately moving away from the show that made him famous. Beyond the television realm, Mike Wolfe's impact extends to how Americans view their history, and the objects that tell that story. Before American Pickers, antique collecting was often perceived as a highbrow pursuit, associated with wealthy collectors and formal auction houses. Mike democratized picking, showing that valuable history could be found in everyday places, from rural barns to urban basements. His enthusiasm for rusty signs, vintage motorcycles, and architectural salvage inspired countless viewers to look at their own attics and family heirlooms with fresh eyes. Through Mike's storytelling, these weren't just old things, they were tangible connections to American craftsmanship, innovation and daily life. His legacy isn't just in the items he's saved from scrapyards and demolition, but in the perspective shift he's created, a renewed appreciation for preservation in a disposable age. Whether Mike returns to American Pickers, or focuses entirely on new ventures, this cultural impact remains his most significant achievement. Mike Wolfe's journey from dumpster diving child to antiquing icon embodies the American dream, not just of financial success, but of turning passion into purpose. Through dedication, risk-taking and an unwavering enthusiasm for history's overlooked treasures, he built an empire that spans television, retail, education and philanthropy. The road hasn't been without its bumps, from the painful dissolution of his partnership with Frank, to the challenges of maintaining a personal life, under public scrutiny. Yet through it all, Mike has remained true to the core values that drove him from the beginning: respect for craftsmanship, preservation of history, and the thrill of uncovering forgotten stories. As he steps away from American pickers to explore new horizons, the question isn't whether his legacy will endure, it's how much further it will expand. In a world obsessed with the newest and shiniest things, Mike Wolfe taught us to look backward, to find value in what others have discarded and meaning in what time has forgotten. Whether he returns to the show that made him famous, or charts an entirely new course, his impact on how we view America's material past is indelible. For every barn door he's knocked on, every deal he's negotiated, and every piece of history he's saved, Mike has reminded us that our stories don't disappear when the objects that tell them are forgotten. They just wait patiently to be rediscovered. And in that space between forgotten and remembered, between discarded and treasured, Mike Wolfe found not just a career but a calling. The question now isn't whether America still needs pickers, it's whether the most famous picker of all will answer the call that made him a legend in the first place.